Joining us on this broadcast is Dr. John Dayal, activist, former president of the All India Catholic Union. We have Netta D'Souza, spokesperson of the Congress, Rahul Ishwar, philosophy author and Hindu activist, and Naveen Chomal, advocate and activist. Thank you all very much for joining us. I'd like to begin by wishing you a very Merry Christmas, despite the circumstances that we're joining and having a conversation over today. Dr. John Dayal, I'd like to begin with you, sir, on what you make of these incidents. Do you think, in your view, these are one-off incidents of violence or targeted attacks on Christians?
First of all, let me respond to your greeting. Merry Christmas to you and to my
sir.
fellow panelists, and through your camera to the countrymen at large. Merry Christmas. The violence is uncalled for. I absolve Sanatan, I absolve the Hindu religion. There are 120 crore Hindus in this country. If they had turned violent against Christians, there would have been no Christians left alive. This is the result of the actions, the motivation, the indoctrination of a very small group, but very aggressive group of politically aligned people who conflate politics and religion, whose vote bank is religion, and they are trying to expand their sphere of influence. I do not know, because the BJP says it has nothing to do with them. I would accept the BJP's claim, but the BJP, the government of India, the Intelligence Bureau must find out who are these people attached to, who are they affiliated to. If they were Muslims, you would have linked them up with all sorts of people. Now find out who are they attached to, that they indulge in such horrific acts which bring a bad name to me, to you, to Mr. Modi himself. And while on the subject, let me also tell you, I think Mr. Modi is always welcome in a church, on any day, on every day in fact. But I think he would do me and my people a great service if we were to call on Mr. Amit Shah and tell him to take action against these ruffians and the way in which they have been acting.
Mr. Rahul Ishwar, your opening comments of what we're seeing right now. I'm glad that Dr. Dayal has highlighted that, look, we don't want to paint an entire community with the same brush because of these few incidents that have happened. But is there an atmosphere that's allowed this to happen, Rahul Ishwar?
Two submissions. First of all, Merry Christmas. I'm a Hindu right-wing activist, but we all should follow. I have celebrated Christmas in my home, and we all should follow Swami Vivekananda's model, where yesterday, December 24th, Vivekananda's Hindu ashram Belur Mad celebrates Christmas in a good way. And we should follow the path of Modi ji, who rightly says Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. And he has been nice enough to go to a church and take part in all the festivities. People like Mahatma Gandhi, Vivekananda, to the present day, tall leaders have done this. Second, there is a different issue altogether at play called anti-forced conversion law. There needs to be a debate on that. Let us not shy away from it. Mahatma Gandhi, even during the independence, or the freedom struggle years, have pointed out the need for anti-forced conversion law. But that's a background.
What's that got to do with this?
That was one of
we're
the
not going to be
of the...
justifying. We're not justifying these attacks.
Nobody is justifying. Nobody can justify. I have one of the largest Jesus Christ face painting in my home. But there are some Hindu groups who feel insecure and threatened. They should not take this path. That's a different thing. For example, in Chhattisgarh, many people were telling that tribal rights or tribal life were erased. So there is a simmering tension. We need to find a consensus. And I belong to Kerala state, where the oldest church in the world, perhaps 400 years even before the Holy Vatican and Holy Rome, we have the oldest church in the world. We have the greatest of relations with the Christian community. But there is a subtext. Sure. See, usually the position is either you go to one extreme or the other extreme. There is a sensible middle ground where we celebrate Christmas, but some issues of mass conversions are also addressed. That is a subtext and context to it. Let us not shy away from it.
I don't know. Should we be giving context to violence at all? Let me open this up. Also joining us now is Netta D'Souza, spokesperson of the Congress. Netta, first of all, Merry Christmas to you. We appreciate you taking the time out and joining us on this day of festivities for you on this very, very important subject. What do you make, Netta, of what's happening right now across the country? We're not talking about one incident in one part of the country. There have been at least 4 to 5 incidents of violence and vandalism that's been reported. But as Dr. Dayal says, do you agree that, you can't blame an entire community or paint everyone with the same brush?
Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas, and a special thanks to India TV for having the courage to take up this topic and talk about it so boldly and to have a debate on it and to report it. Because in today's day, many crimes, many such incidents go unreported. You have identified five, but I'm sure there may be around 500 such incidents in the country which have not been addressed and reported. Hats off to your channel, because in such days where even reporting is a big challenge, you guys have garnered courage in the interest of the nation. Being a Christian, yes, it is sad, but before being a Christian, I would say being an Indian, okay, such incidents, it's not only for me as a Christian or somebody as a Muslim or somebody as a Hindu or somebody as a Jain or a Sikh being targeted. It is, I live in an India that is a free India, an India which constitutionally gives me the right to celebrate my religion, gives me the right to pray. But see what's happening in the country today. Churches are being distorted. People are not being allowed to pray. Even symbols like the Santa cap. Okay, people selling Santa caps on the streets. That person may be a poor Hindu who's selling the Santa caps. They are being targeted. Where is the nation going? And my fellow friend Rahul goes into another world, okay, and brings up topic. Let us stick this debate and conversation to what is happening in the country today.
No, he's connecting the
Yes.
two. Netta D'Souza is
Yes.
connecting the two,
So
which is why he brought it
when
up.
I connect dots today, and when I see a prime minister, we welcome him to the church. We're really happy he's gone to the church. And for me, when he goes to the church, I also see maybe he's also seeking forgiveness. Okay, yes. That means if he's seeking forgiveness, he should also endorse what was wrongly done by him. But
No,
our
but
prime minister chooses to always be quiet. He is the nation's prime minister. He is not only the BJP's
no, but
prime
Netta
minister.
D'Souza, you also look at it this way, that the Prime Minister, by visiting a church, by being a part of a Christmas service this morning, sent out a message of harmony, sent out a message of peace as well, of spreading the festivities of joy.
Let me be very, very honest to you. He sent out a message that he is above others. Did you see the way as he's not allowing the priest to lead? He is leading the priest. He is walking before the priest. See, authority. This is an insult to the church. This is an insult to every Christian when he walks before the priest into the
unfair.
church.
Come on,
That's
he's the
unfair.
Prime Minister
Netaji,
of
that's
the country.
unfair.
He's the Prime
No,
Minister of
it
the
is.
country.
It is. I'm telling you, it is
Dr.
hurt
Dayal,
my religious
Dr. Dayal,
sentiments.
then let me bring in Naveen
It has
Chomal, please.
hurt
Dr.
me
Dayal.
as a Christian. He should respect the priest. He cannot
So let me,
walk
Dr.
before
Dayal,
the
as a
Yeah.
Christian, did
No.
you find it objectionable before I bring in Naveen Chomal?
See, if he is attending a church or a Hindu temple or a Gurdwara, he should, at all times, anybody, not only he, should show respect to what goes on there. What are the rituals there? He cannot take, he cannot do the arti. He cannot touch the Guru Granth Sahib. There are certain things that are done, certain things that are not done. And he, being the Prime Minister, is the Prime Minister outside the altar. There, he is a fellow Christian, a fellow human being, a fellow citizen of India, equal before God.
Okay, fair enough. Let me bring in Naveen Chomal as well on this broadcast, and I'll put the focus again on what we've seen, on the different incidents that have been reported across the country. Naveen Chomal, what do you have to say about the Congress saying that it's an atmosphere that's led to these kind of attacks taking place, that the environment of hate has been created, which is why Christmas cannot be celebrated without violence?
See, there are 2-3 different issues which should not be intertwined or mixed together. First of all, our Honorable Prime Minister, our beloved Prime Minister, is the Prime Minister of the nation. So he is not belonging to any party or any community. So he has done his duty of respecting all religions equally. So today being the Christmas day, he had gone and offered the prayers in the Cathedral Church of Redemption at Delhi. And that is perfectly fine. But now you see the jealousy and the hatred towards the Honorable Prime Minister of the nation also by some of our panelists. This is the personal agenda of the parties. Their failure on the electoral front, they are trying to drag in over in this channel also. So we should not intertwine both of the things. Prime Minister done as the right thing, and that is why we are proud of our Honorable Prime Minister. And as regards the other things, the attack on Christians, what they are trying to allege, see, kindly appreciate the moment Modi ji became Prime Minister 2014, again there were certain attacks on churches and Hindu groups were blamed for that. But when the investigation came out, it was revealed that those were the Bangladeshi Muslims who did.
Not true at all.
No,
Not true at all, sir.
Naveen,
Which
I
year
think
are
we've
you
lost
talking
that
of?
connection. We've lost the
I am a
connection. But Naveen
documenter.
Chumal, I
I'm
think
a
we should
documenter of
refrain.
violence.
We should refrain from pointing fingers at communities and the like.
It's a falsehood. It's a falsehood, sir. It's a falsehood. And you must refrain yourself from propagating such absolute falsehoods.
Okay,
Please
we've lost the
confine
connection
yourself
with Naveen
to
Chumal. We'll bring him
invectives,
back, Dr. Dayal.
Abuse anybody.
Yeah, we'll bring him back. We'll bring him back and then we'll take that conversation forward. But Rahul Ishwar, bringing you in on the broadcast as well to talk about really what the Congress has said, that, you know, the situation has risen because of what's happening currently and not because of conversions and anger over that.
See, two things. First of all, as Hindus, we have to be honest regarding our mistakes. There is no shying away. There is no not admitting our mistakes. We should be happy and proud to admit, because we believe in dharma. And if some people of us, our fringe groups, have engaged in some kind of attacks, we should be honest. We should be apologetic about it. And yes, we can definitely try to find a common ground. There is, I would humbly differ with the opinions I heard earlier, regarding my very good friend, that, we should not bring in a Bangladeshi Muslim angle. That is not true, as we all know. Let's be honest about it. That's not true, as we all know. That's the reason why I said, many tribal groups, for example, the Sarva Hindu Samaj has been raising this. Nobody is saying this is the right way. Mahatma Gandhi, John Dayalji would know, Mahatma Gandhi, even during pre-independence times, have spoken about, anti-forced conversion law. And Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Bharat Ratna, and the India's first education minister have written to Cardinal Gracious of the then Bombay, saying that, see, Hindu community gets insecure with such things and we have to find a middle ground regarding it. See, nobody denies that violence is bad. We are proud to belong. I studied in a Christian school. My grandmother studies in a Christian school. My son is studying in a Christian school. We are all proud of the great service that Christian community has done to education and healthcare. But there are some issues that need to be addressed, and let us be honest about it. Honesty is the best policy. And John Dayal sir knows, because we have been debating for a long time. There are some issues that are kept at cold storage, back burner, that needs to be debated and discussed. Unless these issues can't be forceful, can't be genuinely addressed. But Modi ji's pathway is really nice. His stature of going to a church and attending the mass is absolutely great. Vivekananda did this. Mahatma Gandhi did this. All our great leaders did this. This is the way to go ahead. Yes, there may be some intellectual debates pending, but that is for the TV debates, and no violence can be justified on ground. I don't think anybody would ever say that.
Yeah, Netta, go ahead.
See, as a citizen of the country, and in the interest of no such thing happening in future, no such attacks happening in future, I request the Prime Minister through your channel, and Rahul can also take it up with in their forums, to come ahead and to talk to the people, to tell them, because whether you like it or not, this Prime Minister, our Prime Minister now, Narendra Modi, okay, people, what we get to understand is, he has a big fan following and people actually hear him. He commands many of people. He should come out and blatantly and tell the countrymen, okay, give special orders that no such thing should happen. Enough is enough to such hate. Will the Prime Minister come forth and ask these groups not to indulge in such activities? Number one. Number two, this is a time where we really need to request the Prime Minister, okay, to think about Raj Dharam. Today, it being Good Governance Day, Vajpayee ji's birthday also, I would also like to remind not only him, but many others about Raj Dharam, the Dharam that was requested by Vajpayee ji, had requested him to follow. This is once again a time not only to come out during Christmas, during Eid, during Diwali.
No, but that's the
and come out and
messaging.
give
That's the
messages.
messaging of the Prime Minister being a part of a Christmas service on Christmas. That's
there
exactly
is a
the
bigger
messaging.
message that has to be given out. If he really needs to give a message, tell him to come out and give a message and ask these organizations to stop violence against Christians. Not only one day, it's happening every day. It's not only on Christmas. What is seen
Naveen
on
Chomal,
Christmas is visible.
Naveen Chomal, we lost your connection earlier. Let's not resort to, blame games over communities. But as Rahul Ishwar put it, can we really shirk away and, look the other way when we know there are fringe groups behind these incidents of violence and vandalism?
There may be some fringe groups within the Hindu community who may be behind certain reactive violence, but there is a large portion of the Christian community who are openly indulging in evangelism beyond acceptable limits. So that has to be also addressed too.
No, but the
So
challenge,
the
Naveen
Newton's law
Chomal,
is there. For every
are we
action, there is going to
justifying,
be equal and opposite reaction.
this? Are we justifying
Yes,
these
yes,
protests?
yes. Definitely, yes. It is time to justify that also. The
No, come
reaction
on.
has to be
Naveen,
justified.
We're
Naveen
That
ji,
seeing,
whenever,
no, Naveen Chomal,
yes,
in a secular,
yes,
in a country like India, where every person has the right to practice their religion, are you telling
that
me,
doesn't mean you trample on
that
the
violence,
rights of
are you
other
telling me,
religions.
sir, that
You
violence, are you
go
telling me
for
that violence
fraudulent
when they're
conversions.
celebrating their festival is acceptable? That they cannot practice their faith without
No,
being
no, no.
targeted?
That is not the issue. Nobody is
That
going
is
to
what's
defend
happened.
that.
Let's face it,
No,
Naveen
no,
Chomal, that's
no,
what's
no.
happened.
But what is the reason behind that? That is a reaction. See, nobody gives them the right to trample upon Hindu rights, convert the Hindu people by means of deception, allurement. That is not allowed. You go by the law, you go by the constitution. So the community has been given a free hand by the earlier Congress government for a long time. So it's
Naveen
time
ji, I
that
would humbly
we
submit
start
violence is not
speaking
cancelled.
the truth.
Yeah.
We take the bull by
Or
the
not
horn.
any government
Okay,
that has
Netta
given us
D'Souza,
this
Netta
right.
D'Souza,
We
please.
take the bull by the horn.
Naveen ji,
See,
get
if the
your basics
Christians,
right. It is not any government. It is not the Congress government or the BJP government or your JDU government that gives the citizens the right. It is the Constitution that
nobody
gives
is
us the
given
right.
right to
Don't
fraudulently
try
convert
to,
Hindus.
don't try
Miss
to
D'Souza,
degrade the
nobody gives you
Constitution.
right
One
to
Don't
at a
try
time,
to
But there
please.
is
One at
no,
a time.
convert
Let Netta
but
D'Souza
there is
make her
no
point first.
fraudulent
Adivasis,
conversion.
tribals.
That is
You
my
cannot
What
point.
are you talking?
destroy the
Conversion,
culture of
conversion. What is
Adivasis
Just
conversion?
hold on, one
and
at a
convert
time,
them to
please. One at a time.
Christianity. Nobody's clear. Nobody's given you right to go to the tribals, convert them to
No,
Christianity by
one second,
deception, taking advantage of the party.
Naveen Chomal, just
So,
hold on,
You go
just
and
hold
do
on.
it
At no
then.
point,
You
let
go
me
and
be
hold
very, very
them.
clear here. At no point can we actually go ahead and justify this
Don't
kind of violence that has taken place. This is thuggery. This is unacceptable. That's playing out in our soil, in India. Dr. Dayal, you wanted to make a point.
No, I wanted to make actually 2 points because I didn't want to interrupt. My first point is, how can there be forcible conversions in a country which is overwhelmingly Hindu, where the Prime Minister, most of the Chief Ministers, most of the judges, most of the police DGPs, most of everybody is Hindu. Anybody tries anything forcible will be liquidated. He'll be in jail for all his life. There cannot be fraudulent conversions. I am quite willing to have a larger debate on even the anti-conversion laws with anybody, backed by data. Are you saying that Christians would still be 2.3% of the population after 70 years of independence? 70 years, with 12 states having anti-conversion laws, would we still be there? No, because both of these things are frauds. What is evangelization?
Okay.
Everybody evangelizes. When
Okay.
Mr. Modi waves a flag, that is evangelizing. When I wave a Bible, that is evangelizing.
No, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Look, this has gone into a larger debate of what triggered the violence. And maybe, I'll wrap it up. Dr. Netta D'Souza, my apologies, I don't have time right now for closing comments. I'm going to wrap this up by highlighting that, yes, the Prime Minister, by attending a Christmas service today, sent out a message of harmony, of inclusivity, much needed, because that's what India stands for. Unfortunate that we've seen some groups resorting to violence in different parts of the country, and they need to be called out for it. Let's be very clear that nothing justifies that kind of violence. These pictures here that came in this morning of the Prime Minister of the country being a part of a prayer service, that's what India stands for. I'd like to thank all of our panelists for joining us on this broadcast.